Hello and welcome. Today, we are going to be listening to several stories, including one about how original poster feels about his wife who won't let him play video games while the baby cries. Sit back, relax and enjoy.
Am I the idiot for having a photo of my son's DNA test framed and hanging in the living room?
I'm male 32, met my wife 3 years ago. We got married 9 months ago. We have a baby boy together that she got pregnant with while we were engaged. My wife used to be a sex worker. No judgment on that, please. She did what she had to do to survive. My parents were always being skeptical about her and a lot of times asked if I want to settle down with her. When she got pregnant, they went nuts and demanded a DNA test. They refused to attend the wedding till the DNA test was done, which caused a huge problem. They ended up missing the wedding, obviously. The test was done because my wife wanted to prove a point, and eventually, my parents made amends and we reconciled. They started visiting and yesterday noticed the photo of the DNA test that I hang in the living room. They asked about it and I told them that it serves as a reminder of why they didn't attend my wedding. They were stunned and livid when I mentioned that I tell any guest the same thing I told them. Mom and Dad were mad and asked me repeatedly to take it down, saying I'm being too harsh on them and refusing to let go of the past, as well as embarrassing them to the other family members. I refused to take it down and I admit to being sarcastic in my response, saying, "It goes with the house decor." They begged and then refused to come over anymore till I remove it. My brother thinks it's petty and childish and said I should take it down. Alright, I'm editing some stuff. First of all, my wife does not mind having the photo up. She laughs about it sometimes, but she's still carrying some hurt that was caused by what happened. And second of all, no, she no longer does sex work, it's all in the past. Did I mention that my brother and I aren't close? He's known as the crackhead in the family. So that's that. The top replies. Info. How does your wife feel about her past being a continued topic for public conversation? That's really the only thing that matters. Everyone is the idiot. Original poster replied, his wife is on board with it, although still hurt by his family's reactions. Not the idiot for having it where his parents can see it, but I feel like he should rethink his strategy going forward. There could be other ramifications as his child gets older. Second reply. Not the idiot, it's my kinda petty. But take it down before your child is old enough to notice and ask questions. Third reply. Why not do mom and dad's and hang them all together and learn about DNA as a science topic? These parts are the same, these are different. You are part mom and part dad and all you. Elevate the petty into stabbing the grandparents in the eyeballs petty level and giving the kid a STEM lesson at the same time. Fourth reply. I second this suggestion. I have no doubts at all in my mind about my kiddo's lineage, but fully plan on doing a DNA test because I think it's extremely cool to see what came from where. It's also great for figuring out things like potential health hurdles down the road. Had the technology been more mature when I was young, I'd probably have had a lot fewer hurdles in figuring out my own ailments. I also thought that it'd be really cool for her to have something that shows her our links for when I'm dead and gone. Second story. Will I be the idiot if I refuse to cook the roast more than medium rare? Thanksgiving is right around the corner and my wife and I, 27F, 29M, are making plans to host our family. I'm doing the bulk of the cooking, including a rib roast. I'm excited since it's one of my favorite dishes and I much prefer it to turkey. We've been fortunate this year to be able to afford a good one. I plan on cooking it to a medium rare temperature since that's what I and most people in general prefer. And, objectively, it's juicier and more tender that way. My wife is annoyed by this and says I should make it medium well or well done since she and her parents don't like it bloody. That's not blood, but whatever. I told her that they can eat the end slices, which tend to be more cooked than the bulk of the roast. And if that's still too bloody, they can nuke their piece after it's cut. I think this makes perfect sense. Obviously, if I were making steaks, each one could be made to the preferred doneness of each person. But this is one expensive piece of meat, and I don't want to ruin all of it when the solution is clear. You can always cook a piece more. You can't uncook it. Will I be the idiot? My wife says I am and that this is my way of imposing my pretentious preferences onto everyone at Thanksgiving. The top replies, just cut the raw roast in half, and take one out sooner. My friend, learn to compromise and meet your partner halfway. Little shit like this tends to build up into other stuff. There is a way in everyday life to have your cake and eat it too. Also yes, YWBTA. Choose a better hill to die on, man. Second reply, this is what I was thinking too. If one side of the family will have more people, then make that side of the roast a little bigger. Or get 2 roasts. I've never seen anyone get mad because they had too much food. The original poster replies, that's an idea. I think I'm leaning more towards having a pan ready to cook pieces more for those who want it. Ought to be better than the microwave. Third reply, original poster PLZ don't do this. Splitting it is actually harder. They won't cook the same as they would if you simply cooked them whole. Maillard reaction and browning will be different, and cook times will be drastically different, and you run the risk of overcooking or undercooking everything, or it is properly cooked by temp, but without a long enough cook time you won't get the same connective tissue breakdown converting into collagen, and it could end up chewy and tough. Just cut the end pieces off when you're done and sear them quickly in a pan for them. So many people here clearly don't cook or know what it costs for a prime rib roast. It's several $100s and hours of work you risk tossing out the window because a couple of people want to eat shoe leather. Not the idiot. Third story. Am I the idiot for berating my sister for doing my husband's laundry? My female 31 sister, female 23, moved in with me and my husband M29 a week ago. She does not contribute money but takes on lots of house chores as a way to compensate for it. She'd cook, clean, organize, vacuum, etc. Yesterday, I was at work and came home and found that she'd done my husband's laundry. I was stunned as I felt this was not her place, nor was it appropriate, because for one I always do his laundry, and more importantly, I did not think it was appropriate for her to be looking at his underwear. She downplayed the whole thing, saying it was no big deal and that she saw that I was struggling with work and then kids and wanted to help me by doing the laundry. I told her she shouldn't have done it, but my husband didn't react and she used that to support her argument, saying no one thinks it's a big deal except me. We argued and she shut me down, then started crying, saying she meant well and was trying to help out. But I couldn't help but think this was not her place. My husband told me to drop it, but I can't shake this weird feeling I got. He told me I should apologize to her for berating her, but I refused. The replies. Seeing a man's underwear has never made me want to f***k them, lol. Let alone your siblings' underwear. We literally hung our underwear outside on the clothesline. I think the only thing neighbors would be concerned with was how many holes the boys' underwear would get but still be used. Top replies. Not the idiot. The dog needs to be secured for its own safety as well as everyone else in the car. Various states also have laws or statutes that determine how a pet can or cannot ride in a car. 11 states and Washington, D.C. prohibit pets on laps. Others have more ambiguous laws. For what it's worth, we trained our dogs from day one to wear sleepypod harnesses. I don't need them distracting me while driving, and if we get in an accident I don't want a furry projectile flying around in my car. Plus, if we get in an accident and a good Samaritan opens a car door to check on us, I don't want my dog running into traffic and getting hit by a car on top of everything. With routine training and lots of positive reinforcement, peanut butter, treats, praise, start with round-the-block trips with 2 of you in the car, one sitting next to them, making being in harness the best thing ever. They are all about their harnesses. They know, get your gear on, means a car ride, and that usually means pup cups and grandma's house and weekends at the cabin and all kinds of good things. Your fiancé is asking for an accident with a dog on his lap while driving. You're not the idiot. Second reply. Take a deep breath. My wife is a part-time nanny. Even though her job description does not include doing the family's laundry, sometimes she does it as a way of keeping busy. That includes the husband's underwear. Big deal. It's just clothes. Repeat as necessary. It's just clothes. You should be thankful that your guest is trying to compensate for your generosity by doing chores rather than being a lazy slouch and doing nothing. You are the idiot and you really should apologize. Third reply. You are the idiot. It seems really possessive to say, I always do his laundry. First of all, why is he never doing it? Second of all, why are you so possessive of his laundry? Would you have had an issue if she did the kids' laundry? If you are particular about laundry, thank you for doing the chores, but I prefer to do laundry on my own. It'd be really helpful if you could X instead. Fourth story. Am I the idiot for making him drop me and my kids off on the side of the road? I will cut right to the chase. I'm 31 female and I have 3 kids from my previous relationship. He passed away 4 years ago. Met my now fiancé 2 years ago and he has been great, but issues sparked up recently in the safety department of things. He got a 30 to 40 pound small breed dog last year from his mother for Christmas. That in itself wasn't a deal-breaking issue despite none of us wanting a dog. The issue is he refuses to go out with me or the kids anymore without bringing the dog, and he proceeds to drive with her on his lap. If this dog is not in his lap, she starts whining like absolute crazy and he just gives in and lets her sit in his lap. He has to lean back just so she isn't touching the steering wheel. There have been multiple times I have told him to stop doing this because at this point he is putting all of our lives in danger. He will stop for a few weeks or so and then go right back to it. So yesterday I absolutely had enough. I begged him to keep the dog home but he refused because he wanted to stop off at the park and let the kids and the dog run off energy. On the way home, like 6 miles from home, the dog climbs on his lap. He allows it. I immediately say that he needs to stop. He tells me I'm overthinking and need to live a little, that he isn't hurting anyone and that he's got this. At one point snapping and saying, we are almost effing home, it's literally not a big deal. So I told him to pull over and ended up taking me and my children out of the car to walk the rest of the way. At this point it was only roughly 2 miles away. He stops a few times and tells us to get back in and I refused because that dog was still on his lap. When we get home, after stopping with my kids for ice cream along the way, he goes up one side of me and down the other, stating I'm petty and being controlling and whatever else. At this point, I told him that not only would me and my kids not be doing any family outings with him anymore provided he brought his dog, but we will also not be going anywhere with him unless I'm the one driving, which he absolutely hates because I don't drive fast enough, meaning I go the speed limit, whereas he goes 60 plus mph. I no longer feel I trust him with my or my children's safety when it comes to driving. He has not spoken to me since and my best friend is saying my fiancé is right and that I'm being a controlling idiot because it's not hurting anything but my feelings. Am I the idiot? The top replies. For what it's worth, we trained our dogs from day one to wear sleepypod harnesses. I don't need them distracting me while driving, and if we get in an accident I don't want a furry projectile flying around in my car. Plus, if we get in an accident and a good Samaritan opens a car door to check on us, I don't want my dog running into traffic and getting hit by a car on top of everything. With routine training and lots of positive reinforcement, peanut butter, treats, praise, start with round-the-block trips with 2 of you in the car, one sitting next to them, making being in harness the best thing ever. They are all about their harnesses. They know, get your gear on, means a car ride, and that usually means pup cups in grandma's house and weekends at the cabin and all kinds of good things. Your fiancé is asking for an accident with a dog on his lap while driving. You're not the idiot. Second reply. Not the idiot. That dog is a projectile in an accident that could be the difference between someone surviving or not. He is actively putting the dog and everyone else at risk in an accident. He's got this. Seriously, most accidents aren't planned. No one goes out and decides today is the day they will. Everyone is the idiot. Another commenter told me I should add to the original post regarding how I have spoken to my fiancé multiple times regarding the safety issue. I have all but begged him not to do this, and this is the first time I have snapped. However, with that said, my children's father died in a vehicle-related accident, which makes my anxiety much worse regarding the issue. My fiancé knows this. Fifth story. Am I the idiot for wanting to play video games for 30 minutes to an hour every day when I get home from work? So, I, 37 male, work as a service manager for a high-volume dealer and am out of the house for 12 hours a day, leave at 6 a.m. and don't get home until 6 p.m., 5 days a week. My wife, 33F, gets upset when I get home and after eating dinner wants to get a couple of rounds of COD in. My wife is a stay-at-home mom with our 18-month-old and thinks it's absolutely criminal that I want to get some decompressing time at the end of the day. My daughter is still in the mommy all the phase, so she prefers to spend more time with my wife than I do. Usually, when I get home I will eat dinner, do whatever honeydew she has for me, and then play for a little. After I'm done I will join them and spend time with my family, which usually is her watching a movie's last show and I read the same book to my daughter 10 times lol. My wife says that even when I'm chilling with them I spend too much time on my phone. While we are all hanging out, if my daughter is asking for my attention I will stop what I'm doing and do whatever she's asking me to do. Whenever she wants to go back to mommy I will browse Twitter or Reddit since I usually have absolutely zero interest in what she is watching. She accuses me of being absent/not present since I don't focus all my free time on her and the baby. Also, side note, she is currently 20 weeks pregnant. So am I the idiot? Top replies. You are the idiot. You may work 12 hours a day but you're a dad 24 hours a day. You have 4 competing interests: your family, your job, sleep, and your personal time. Right now you are giving 1/2 of your time to your job. Then you have to divide the remainder of your time between sleep, family, and yourself. You can't really take much time from sleep. I'll assume you sleep about 6 hours. Now you have 4 hours for yourself and your family. Take an hour for yourself. 3 hours for your family. Is that enough time? Are you happy being a father and husband for only 3 hours a day? Compare that with your wife. She is a SOM 24 hours a day. She is always on call. She constantly has a kid attached to her. Even when your daughter is asleep, your wife can't get too into something because your daughter could wake up at any time. Honestly, Hold sounds very stressed. You are stretching yourself thin. Your wife has no reprieves. It's easy for me to say, you need a less demanding job, especially if you want more you time. The hour workday day and stay at home making either of you happy. The original poster replies, truly insightful, I've never looked at it this way. Lots to chew on here. The second reply, your wife is telling you that she needs adult attention after spending all day with a baby. When you're there, you are constantly doing everything you can to engage in escapism. She's telling you, but you aren't listening. The day will come when she doesn't complain to you at all. And it will be because she has already left you in her mind. The only thing left will be the packing. Once it gets to that point, there will be no fixing it. You are the idiot. You are the idiot. Please get a clue and realize that it's important to fix things now before your wife decides it's not worth trying to get some quality time from you, because it's never going to happen. That's when it's too late. Edit. I get up at 5 a.m. and usually fall asleep by 9:30 to 10 p.m. My wife and daughter nap through the day, so when I'm sleeping they are usually awake for another hour or two. It has been confirmed that I am indeed the idiot. Thanks for all the constructive suggestions, y'all. Time to work on adjusting my mindset.